So good morning guys, welcome to today's pre-market analysis. I hope my audio, everything is visible, screen as well. Yeah, so let's start with our chart prediction analysis. So here are the levels which we have discussed yesterday for Nifty. So this is in 1 day time frame, as you can see. So yesterday's pivot point was at 25,560 level for 650 level. So with respect to that, with respect to the opening, so it gave a move above up to 25,679 almost, and after that it reversed in the first 15 minutes. If I keep it in 15 minutes, here you can see in the first 15-minute candle it came up above and it reversed. From that it consolidated a little bit here over on this 25,600 level. Then it gradually came up to our S2, even though the movement was completely sideways yesterday. So as per our analysis, it have hit the S1 and closed, made a low at 25,491 almost, and closed above 509. So with respect to yesterday's high, low and closing, we will analysis to today's pivot point, and with respect to that pivot point, we will zone this out: Nifty, Bank Nifty and Sensex. So let's quickly start with the today's pivot point. So it is, as you know, that it is gradually coming down on a downtrend a little bit. The weakness is dragging market down. So the obviously the pivot point is also below from yesterday. So I'll quickly mark the points. So today's pivot point lies at PP lies at 25 560 25 560 level. This is a pivot point with respect to yesterday's high, low and closing. So not exactly, but we rounded it off at 25 560. So with respect to this, we will plot the support one. Support one is at 25 450, 100 points below. It is exactly 441, but we rounded it off to 450 to support 1, and support 2 is at 25 320 will be the support 2. S2 will be at 25 320 and S3 will be at 250. 25 250 will be the S3. So 25 250 will be the S3. So three supports we have plotted. We will quickly graph the resistance. So resistance 1 is at 25 630. So 25 630, I'll put 630, and R2 is at 25 750. 25 760 will be the 750, not 60, 750, and R3 will be at 25 800. 820 we can mark, but 25 800 will be 25 800 will be the resistance. So these are the three support and resistance level with respect to the pivot point according to uh, previously closing high and low. So we will zone this out according to our three resistance and support. So always we keep R2 and R3. R2 and R3 as our resistance and R1 as our resistance 1, but we consider R2 and R3 as our bullish zone. So any movement above this R1 will activate our bullish zone. I mean, we can ride up to R2 and R3. So let me plot this out, zone this out. 25 750 will be the first R2, and 25 800 will be. So we have a closed zone. So let's give this as 820 only. So with the exact value. So this is the bullish bias zone with respect to Nifty's pivot point, and on the sideways zone, So it will be between S1 and R1. So 25 450 will be the S1 and R1 will be 25 630. 25 630 will be the R1. So this will be the consolidation zone. So we have a good gap in between these both these zones. I'll mark the bearish zone and we'll explain that. So the bearish zone will be activated below the support one. Obviously, whenever we have a breakout below this support one, which is 25 450 range, then we can ride the market down to the downtrend. 25 320 is the S2. So these will be the zones, and let's quickly mark the pivot point, which is at 25 560. Yesterday it was more than 90 points above, and today's R1 is at 25 630. So these are the zones for today's particular level. So we will mark the 25 250 as our third support also. So these are the three levels. So with as I explained, as I discussed yesterday, so any movement above this can only validate our bullish continuation in the market. As long as it is trading below the pivot point with the downside volume, then definitely it is the market is going to drag down. So definitely we can ride this S1 and S2. So yesterday's closing is like day before yesterday. It is similar to that pivot line. So with respect to the pivot line, if you see the market actually closed below this, it market is trading below this particular pivot point level. So definitely I am going for this bearish view only. And if you see the gift nifty as well, it is trading below the like trading in negative. So definitely it indicates a bearish start or bearish continuation in the market. But any movement above this particular pivot point level with a higher volume, then we can validate our bullish reversal. Again, the bullish continuation will be happening only above this particular pivot point. If it is trading above this pivot point or retesting or reclaiming this level with a higher volume, then we can write this levels up to the R1, and if the similar volume and similar momentum continues, then we can go for this these levels, the bullish zone levels. So these are the levels for Nifty, and with respect to RSI, you can see that it is continuously dragging down according to the market falling. So it is right now trading on a neutral sentiment. So 50 is considered as a neutral sentiment in the market. So so as the market is coming down, definitely this is gonna come up to this 30 where we have an oversold zone, then only a reversal chances are appearing with respect to the RSI. So these are the three zones. Keep in mind that pivot point, any movement above this with a higher volume can validate our bullish continuation. So as long as it is trading below this pivot point, then definitely market is going to continue its bearish weakness in the market. So let's quickly move on to the bank nifty side. So on bank nifty, let's mark out this pivot point. Pivot point is at 557 670. 57 670 is the pivot point for bank nifty. And with respect to this, let's go to support one. Support one is at 57 400. 57 400 will be the support one. S2 is at 57 250. 250, and S3 will be at 56 980. 56 980 will coming below the 57,000 levels according to the movement or according to the pivot point of today. So S3 is at 56 980. So let's quickly mark the R1 and R2. For R1 will be at 57 825. 830 we can give here. So R2 will be at 58,100. 58,100 we will consider as R2, and R3 will be at 58,250. 58,250 will be the R3. So these are the three zones, three levels of Bank Nifty. Let's zone this out. So any movement above the R1 will indicate or validate our bullish continuation in the market, or any movement above or trading above the pivot line will validate our particular bullish continuation. So 57,830 will be the 830 node. 58,100 will mark as the first bullish zone range. So 58 250 will be the second one. So these two levels are considered as the bullish zones for the day, and if Bank Nifty stays consolidated, we will mark that level. So it will be between S1 and 57,400. S1 and R1. This will be between S1 and R1. So R1 is 57,400 plus 57,830. So we have a very higher range for the day. So any bearish movement will only validate a movement below this support 1, and it can lead up to our support 2 and 3 respectively with respect to the market volume on the downside. So consolidation like zone is kind of bigger today, so that's because of this RSI part. So 50 and any point, any level near to 50 is considered as a neutral sentiments in the market. So that's why our consolidation zones are a pretty higher as compared to any other day. So let's quickly mark our 250. Yeah, we have already marked that. So this level will mark as 56,980. 56,980. So we have the pre-market data also here. So market is opening lower. So like the gap down is appearing in the market. So it is obviously coming opening below this particular pivot point, and it is opening very low below this. So a bearish continuation will be in the market. So but anyway, even if it's a bear continuation also, you should properly have your risk managed, and you should properly wait up to the first 5 minutes, or at least 15 minutes for a proper directional view. So wait for that proper chance. So with respect to senses, I'll quickly mark the levels here. With respect to Sensex, the pivot point is at 50, 83, 465, 470 we can give with respect to this, and S1 will be at 83. S1 will be at 82, 980 level, and S2 will be at 82, 700. 82, 700 will be the S2, and S3 will be at 80 to 250. 230 we can go, 250 we can consider. 80 to 250 will be the S3, and with respect to the resistance, 83, 730 will be the first R1, and R2 will be at 84. Oh, this is 84,700, and this will be 84,220, and this will be 84,490 level. So these are the three zones for particular Sensex for the day with respect to its previous day high, low, and close. So pivot point with respect to that, and we have plotted S1 and S1, S2, and S3, and respectively R1 and R2 and R3. So it's almost 9:30. We will quickly have a look at FIA data. I didn't zone this out today, so have this thing in mindset that any movement above this particular pivot point level will only validate a bullish continuation. So as you can see that the market is pretty opening below the levels of pivot point. It is a gap down as well. Here, clearly you can see there. So I assume a bearish continuation will be happening, and you can see here that our symmetrical triangle patterns dynamic resistance is also near, so now it is acting as a support, this particular trend line. So it is coming close to this level, so we will see the possible reversal chances from here if it is touching this point. And you should properly manage the risk properly today, as it is a gap up also, gap down also, sorry. So we'll have a uh, quick view in the FIA data of yesterday's data. So the same similar pattern is continued by the institutional giants. So clearly you can see that 3,600 crores were being turned off by FIA, and similarly for nearly 5,000 crores have been added by our um, DIA, domestic institutional investors. So FIA data of FNO we will check. So it is clearly net bearish. So I expect a bearish continuation in the initial momentum. Initial momentum, and it will stagnate if it is respecting the RSI 50 neutral sentiments, or else it will continue to fall in the market. There will be a continuation in the fall. So I wish everyone a good day, and I'll wind up for the day. And thank you everyone. Good morning. So S1, S2 is calculated with respect to the pivot point. So when we calculate the pivot point, I'll just show it here. So market open and it is dragging down. It's a quick drag. So previous days, as you know, that PP is considered as calculated with respect to high plus low plus closing. Oh, sorry, high plus low plus closing whole divided by 3. So all these will be calculated, and it will be divided by 3. Then we can calculate the this particular pivot point, and with respect to that, and another calculation is there where we multiply the first two levels and minus it with the high, and for the resistance we will minus it with the low. So I'll explain it if you are interested to hear about the calculation on tomorrow. So today it is a trading time, so I wish everyone a good day, and tomorrow definitely I'll let you know this how we are calculating this pivot and support levels. Oh, I'm sorry about my voice, so I hope it is properly audible now. Should be audible. So I'll try to talk in a little bit more higher, in a higher volume tomorrow. And thank you everyone. Thank you. I'll wind up the session. Thank you.